The air moves softly in and out. Now, creating even more awareness, observe while you breathe in what's going on. And then soften everything, your body, your mind, as you breathe out. Breathing in, creating awareness, and breathing out, creating a softening, especially in the parts of the body that may have some tension. Soften it out. Breathing in, creating awareness, and breathing out, creating a relaxing feeling. Very nice. One more time. And you can now open your eyes, blink a few times just to bring up some tears to really hydrate the eyes. And lift your hands, bring them to either side of your face. And we're just going to do some gentle circles. Now, we don't want to pull too much on the muscles. I want you to see if you can just gently pull on the skin. And this has an incredible effect of moving the lymph. It also can have a lovely effect relaxing the jaw. Ideally, the tongue is in a position I like to call home position, where it curves at the roof of the mouth, touches the backs of the teeth, and it grows a little bit to fill all of the space inside the mouth. Your jaw is gently separated, so the back top teeth and bottom teeth don't touch, but they're close, but don't touch. Do 2 more of these circles very gently. And allow the jaw just to relax. Bring your hands back down. Taking a deep breath in, lift your chin to stretch your throat. And it's a little bit of a curve in the neck. Go as far as is comfortable. And then breathe out, bring your chin down to your chest. Breathing in, raising the chin again, looking skyward. Breathing out and lower the chin. 2 more times. Let's breathe in and lift, stretching. Breathe out and lower. Good. And with this movement, bring awareness. Just observe what's going on at the neck, the throat, the jaw. Come back to a neutral position, and let's turn our head to the right as far as possible, back to center and to the left. Keep your shoulders in a neutral position without turning. Just turn the head and let the neck swivel. And now bring awareness to the movement, observing, wow, what's going on? 100% what's going on. Turning from side to side. That's it. One more time each side. Beautiful. Okay, bring your head back to neutral and let's make big circles with the shoulders. Bring the shoulders forward, as far forward as possible, up to the ears and around. Up and around. Make as big circles as you can with your shoulders. And observe, once again, is there tension in the upper back? Does it move into the neck? Now let's change direction. See if you can avoid judging and just notice what's going on. Full awareness with your movement. Yes, very good. One more. Nice. Bring your hands together in a soft prayer, then interlace your fingers and push the palms skyward. Lengthen out your back, your arms, lengthen your neck. So when we lift the arms, see if you can avoid lifting the shoulders. Keep the shoulders down so that there's length in the neck. Lean over to your right and feel the stretch down the side of the body. Come back to center. Lean to your left. Good. Back to center. Now let's bring the breath into it. Breathe out, go to the right. Breathing in, rise back up. Breathing out, go to the left. Yes, beautiful, everyone. Breathe in, rise back up. One more time each side. Breathe out, notice, and see if while you do it, you can even soften out. Excellent. Come back to center, everyone. Bring the palms together and thumbs into the upper back. So our palms come together in a soft prayer, thumbs into the upper back. Push your head against your arms. See if you can feel the stretch down the backs of the arms, into the armpits, even the side of the body. This helps to open the rib cage so we can take deeper breaths. Yes, one more deep breath in. Now bring the arms up, around. Excellent. Come up onto all fours now. So if you're on the floor, you can bring your feet to one side. If you're on a chair, come up and move into a position of all fours. I'm just going to move the camera a little bit. If you're standing, I want to show you the best way how to get onto the floor. It would be to open your feet nice and wide and squat down, letting the hips move back. Fingertips come to the earth, and you walk them forward. One knee at a time comes down, and you're in an all fours position. Palms are down, and they're like little suction cups. So you should feel the palms lifting right at the center. That keeps your fingers down, and it keeps your hands activated. Lift your chin, and let's curve the spine, letting the belly open up and lift, getting a stretch from the chin to the pubic bone. And then as you breathe out, round, look to your belly button. Breathing in, let's curve, stretching the front of the body, chin to the pubic bone. And breathing out, round, stretching the back body from the tailbone to the back of the neck. And again, let's breathe in. And breathe out. Breathing in, create that awareness with your breath and with your movements. One more time. And sink back onto your heels. Open the knees as wide as possible and come into child's pose, the forehead down onto the floor. Stay in child's pose for just a moment and take some deep, slow breaths. Notice how you're feeling in your hips, in your low back. Notice how you're feeling in the heart and the neck, the knees, the ankles. It's very important to become aware of the different joints in your body so that we can protect them. Our joints especially need protection. They need attention. Lift your head, look forward, lifting up onto the hands and knees. Now bring the knees in hip width and begin gently curving your low back. This tilts the hips upward. Stay with this at a point that feels good to you, okay? We need to, all of us, create a little bit more curve in our low back. I know this goes against what we've been taught a lot in fitnesses. However, it's more dangerous to lose that curve for your discs as well as your hips and your knees. So we need to recreate that curve. but get it to a point where you do not feel compression. No compression. You should feel just a light curving, a light engagement of the back, and a very light stretch of the belly. Let's bounce back and forth very gently and easily. The head is lifted, so the neck is engaged, avoiding that forward head position. From here, keep your hips back behind your knees. I want you to lift your left knee. Let's start with the left so you can see me. I'm going to face you. I lift the left knee and I'm going to set the left foot down. So it's pointing outwards towards my left. The hips are still back. I'm going to raise my left hand and reach far beyond, fingertips on the floor. And I'll do little bounces back. What you're going to feel is an engagement and a stretch into the hip. And that is also the femur bone going right into the hip socket. And the knee is protected in this position. It's a super nice and easy mobility work. 2 more bounces. Then bring the hand back down and let's bring the knee back down. Refine that curve that links here and lift your right knee up, setting the right foot down. The right knee is protected in a 90-degree angle. Hips stay back. Reach your right arm out in front of you, fingertips down, and we'll bounce back and forth. Nice and easy. Getting that rotation in the hip socket. Getting that stretch and that mobility work into the hips, which is functional. 2 more bounces. And come back, bringing your hand down, bring your knee back down. Tucking your toes under now. Keep a curve in your back. Keep a long belly, curve in the back, and raise the knees up. So we're in a crouching cat position. We'll do down dog later if you would like to do a down dog. But for now, take a crouching cat and we'll bounce back and forth. You should feel the power in your legs, your hips, your thighs, and even the power in your belly. Now staying back, turn your knees to the right and press your hips towards the left. Bounce down 3 times. Come back to center, turn your knees to the left, hips to the right, and we bounce here 3 times. Back to center, open your feet as wide as your mat, and begin walking your hands back. Fingertips down on the floor, hips back. Lift your chin and lengthen your spine. Now we're going to start getting warm. Begin bouncing the knees and make sure that your hips go back behind you. Your knees can go a little bit forward, but not farther forward than your toes. So if you look at me when I'm bouncing, if I touch my toes with my hands, my knees will not touch my arms. So it's my hips going back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set your hands on your thighs to help lift your chest. This is important for the low back. So be sure you press against the hands to lift the chest. Bring your right shoulder forward and twist to look over your left shoulder. Looking behind you, get a long spine. Come back to center. And let's bring our left shoulder forward. Turn your head to the right. Look behind you. Back to center. We'll do that again. Right shoulder forward. Look over your left shoulder. Good. Back to center. Left shoulder forward. Good. Back to center. One more time each side. We're doing mobility work for the entire body. Back to center. And this mobility work helps us to prepare the joints. Look back to center and come all the way up to a standing position. Good. Now we're going to step our feet in. Knees are soft. Hips are still back a bit, so we get a long belly, and you feel a little bit of a contraction at the low back. Raise your arms up a little bit higher than the level of your shoulders. Sink down as if you're sitting in a chair and come back up. We'll do this 10 times. Sink, 10, 9. Remember the knees. Don't let them go farther forward than your toes. 7. This is engaging the spine. 6. Most of us have a rounded spine all day. This is engaging it in the opposite direction. 4 more times. 3, 2, and 1. Let's come all the way up to standing and step to the front edge of your mat. All right. Whenever we come to the front edge, we want to find our perfect posture. Feet at hip width, knees soft, hips back just a little bit. No compression in the low back, but there is an engagement here. Chest is lifted, shoulders open. Bring your hands to your heart center. So this is your perfect posture you want to come back to. Lift your eyes and just come into an awareness right now. Just a very quick, like penny dropping. This is how I feel right now. Let's take a deep breath in and raise the arms and stretch long and high. Bring your elbows down to your knees and set your hands down to the floor. Step your feet back to find a plank position. Knees soft, head lifted, back lightly curved. Lower your knees down. Lower your chest down to the floor. Pointing your toes, lengthening your legs. Let's all rise to a beautiful open cobra. Draw the throat and ears back. Bring your chest back down. Push up onto the hands and knees. Stay here. Bring your right hand off the mat, left hand on top. Let's get another stretch in, lengthening out. Come back to center. And then left hand off the mat, right hand on top, stretching out. Back to center, hands down. Remember those suction cups? Grab into the floor, tuck your toes, coming up into down dog now, or crouching cat, or a combination of the two. Find what works for you. Now we're going to turn our knees to the right and just bend the knees down really low, really low. See if you can lift your right hand and maybe set the right hand at the right hip. Holding 3, 2, 1, coming back, turn them back. Now the knees go to the left, set the hips way back. See if you can lift the left hand and maybe bring it to the left hip. Good. Back again to center. Begin stepping your feet forward in small steps. Feet hip width, bend your knees low, hands to thighs. Lift the chest so you get that engagement. If your low back is fine, raise your arms by your ears. If your low back is suffering, keep the hands onto the thighs. Rise all the way up to standing. Release the arms by your sides, lifting the chest. Find that perfect posture again. Hands to your heart center. We'll do the same thing, nice and slow. Deep breath in, rise. Bring your elbows to knees, going forward and down. Stepping back to a plank position. Lift your head, look forward. Bring the knees down. Bring your chest down. Pointing your toes, lengthen your legs. Rise to a little cobra. Bringing the chest back down. Push up onto the hands and knees. Left hand off the mat, right hand on top. Hips go back, get a stretch. And then right hand off the mat, left hand on top. Press the hips back. Back to center. Down dog or crouching cat. It's time to turn your knees to the left. Sink down low. Raise your left hand. Bring it to the left hip. Back down to the earth. Bring your knees to the right. Sink down low. Raise the right hand. Maybe to the hip. Back again. Facing forward. Stepping forward. Bend your knees low. Hands to thighs. Lift the chest. Arms by your ears if it's okay with your low back. Holding 3, 2, 1. Up to your perfect posture. Find your perfect posture. Hands to your heart center. We're going to go a little bit faster and we'll take out some of the side stretches. Deep breath in. Bring awareness to the movement. Breathe out, folding, elbows to knees and all the way down. Step back to a plank. Lift your chin, hold it 3, 2, 1. Knees come down, bring your chest down slowly. Pointing your toes, lengthen the legs, rise to a cobra. Bring your chest back down. Push up and into down dog or crouching cat. Bring your knees to the right. Sink down low with awareness. Raise the right hand to the right hip. Back down to the floor. Change sides. Knees go to the left. Sink down. Left hand rises to the left hip. Back down. Facing forward. Stepping forward. Bend your knees low. Hands to thighs. Lift your chest. Raise the arms by your ears. Hold it. 3, 2, 1. Up to standing. Arms by your sides. Good. Perfect posture. Hands to your heart center. Go again. Deep breath in. Rise. Folding forward. That's great, everybody. Good. Stepping back to plank. Lift your chin. Holding 3. Beautiful. 2, 1. Bring your knees down. Moving down to the floor. Excellent. Point your toes, rising up. Cobra. Push back. Down dog or crouching cat. Good. Turn your knees to the left this time and hold it down. Lift your left hand. Bring it to the head, maybe to the hip. Good. Now turning back, hands down, and then other side. Yes. Raise your right hand. Yes. Really good, everybody. Turning back and forward. Look to your hands. Begin stepping forward. Good. Terrific. Hands to your thighs, getting into that chair. Hold. Hold in the chair. 3, 2, 1. Come all the way up to standing. Okay, we're going to add on to all of this. Hands to your heart center. Perfect posture. Deep breath in. Let's rise. Breathing out. Let's fold. Set your hands down. Come to a plank position. Lift your chin and lift your right leg, holding 3, 2. If it's too much, you can keep the foot down. 1. Bring the foot down now. Bring your knees down and move down to the floor. Point your toes, rise up to a cobra, and push back. Down dog or crouching cat. Now here's where it's going to get funky. Step your feet forward a little bit. Bring your left foot underneath the right. So you're going to cross it over and have it crossed a little bit. Now watch carefully. I'm going to raise my right hand and I'm going to turn. Remember we lifted the right hand up? Keep your hips up a little bit. Then raise the right arm to the sky. And let's switch and turn back. Set your left foot back where it was, crouching cat or down dog. Now we'll lift the right leg. Cross it underneath so it's crisscrossed the legs. You're going to bend your knees, sinking back and turn. Left hand can come up to the head, maybe up to the sky. Bring it back to the head and back to a crouching cat or down dog. Woohoo! Stepping your feet forward. Bend your knees low, hands to thighs. Lift up to chair, arms by your ears, holding 3, 2, 1. Up to standing. Perfect posture. Let's do all that again. Hands to your heart center. Take your time if you need to. Deep breath in with awareness. Breathing out, fold with awareness. Stepping back to plank. Observing how you feel. Lift your chin. You can raise your left leg. 3, 2, 1. Bring it back down. Knees to the floor. Move down, getting ready for your cobra. And bring your chest back down. Push back, down dog or crouching cat. This time the right leg goes underneath. Woo! Turn it. Raise your left hand. Push into the floor. Raise the left arm. Bring it back down. Twisting back. If it's too much to go on one arm, just turn your knees to one side. If it's possible, cross your leg and twist. Raise your right hand to the sky. Back to the head and back to down dog or crouching cat. Stepping forward. Knees bend, hands to thighs, getting into the chair. Holding 3, 2, 1, all the way up to standing. Let's go through that 2 more times. Hands to your heart center. Breathe in with awareness. Breathe out and fold. Modulate if you need to. Good. Stepping back to the plank. Beautiful, everyone. This time your right leg goes up or you keep your feet down. 3, 2, 1. Good job. Move down. Perfect. Up into cobra. Yes. Good. Push back, down dog or crouching cat. All right. Here's where the fun part goes. Bring your left leg underneath your right. And maybe you twist all the way around, raising the arm. Beautiful. 3, 2, you guys are great. 1, switch back into crouching cat. So you don't have to raise the arm if you don't want to. You could just do a little twist. Now, right leg crossed under the left and you switch sides. Beautiful. Twist around, go as far as you want. Observe your shoulders. Be aware. If it's too much, you back off. That's the power of awareness and mindfulness. Going back, crouching cat or down dog. Good. Moving back to the front edge of your mat. Hands go to thighs as you lift up. Will help you. Raise the arms by the ears if you wish. Hold it in the chair. 3, 2, 1. Bravo. All the way up to standing. Find that perfect posture with awareness. Hands to your heart center. Last round. Let's go, everyone. Deep breath in. Rise. Breathing out. Fold. Hands come down. Step back to your plank position. Fabulous. If you'd like, you can lift your left leg. Otherwise, keep the legs straight and toes on the floor. 3, 2, 1. Bring the foot down. Move down to the floor for cobra. All the way down. Once your toes cobra, down dog or crouching cat. Good. This time start with the right foot crossed underneath the left. Twist around if you want and raise the arm if you wish, if it feels good. 3, 2, 1. Coming back to crouching cat, uncross the legs and change the leg. Other leg crossed underneath. Good. Twist it. Sink the hips down nicely. Holding. 3, 2, 1. Terrific. Going back to crouching cat. Good. Begin stepping forward, getting to the front edge of your mat. Hands to thighs, lift up into chair, hold your chair. Hands to your heart center and you come to a standing position. Close your eyes for a moment and come into awareness. Just notice, are you hot? Notice the sensations you have. Readjust your body if you need to. And bring your arms down by your sides. All right, everyone. Bring your hands to your hips. Feet should be hip width. Bend your knees gently. So when you do this, the hips will move back a little bit, okay? We don't want to bend our knees forward and let our hips go forward. This is not functional for the knees or the hips. You want to bend the knees and let them go back. Cross your right leg over the left thigh. So the ankle should be just above the knee. If you need to, you can hang on to the wall. Just put a finger against the wall to do this position. But find what works for you, okay? Now, If you're not hanging onto the wall, cross your arms. Grab a hold of the elbows, and to create even more of a holistic position, pull against your elbows as if you want to pull your elbows apart. So this is working the upper back and the shoulders in a very nice way. If you're not hanging onto the wall, begin twisting to your right. Turn your shoulders, turn your head, turn your upper body. Focus on a point towards your right and hold here. 3, deep breathing. 2, and observe how you're feeling. 1, unwind and uncross, release your arms. Good job. Let's change. Bend your knees, hips go back, left leg goes above the right knee. Grab a hold of your arms and see if you can switch your hands. So if you had the right hand on top of the left last time, left on top of the right. Sink back, lift the chest, and twist to your left this time. With deep, slow breathing. Set your gaze at one point. Pull your arms apart to get that engagement in the upper back. Lengthen the belly. And let's unwind and uncross. Good job. Okay. Separate your feet hip width now. Hands to your hips and sink down into our little chair position. So we got into some deep twist there, which helps to warm up and work the core muscles. Now we're going to go into an even deeper twist. Stay with awareness, hips back, hands to your heart center. Twist to your right. So bring the right elbow over the left thigh. Hips are down. Now notice my hips are lower than my shoulders. That's where you want to be. If your hips are higher, you got too much blood rushing into the head. You want the hips lower. Lift your chest. Twist and open and lift the left elbow. Turn your head as far as possible. Engage nicely through the legs. All toes are down. Be sure your toes are down and your knees are apart. 3 deep breaths. 2, 1. To lift back up, unwind, hands to the thighs. This is much better for the back. And push against your thighs as you rise. Whew, good. Other side. Hands to hips. Bend your knees. Hips go back into that deep squat. Be sure the knees do not go forward of the toes. Then bring your hands to your heart center and twist to your left this time. Left elbow over the right thigh. Knees bent, and they bend a little bit outwards towards the baby toes. Twist and open, lifting your right elbow to the sky. Go as far as possible, hips lower than the shoulders. Deep breaths with awareness. 3, 2, 1. Unwind, hands to thighs, push onto the thighs, and come up to standing. Good job. Whew. Lift up your right foot and grab a hold of the ankle. Flex the foot, lift your chest, and raise your left arm out in front of you. Okay. Begin lifting the leg behind you. Now, I'd like you to avoid pushing the ankle too much into the hand. I want you to just lift the ankle behind you. This is going to create much more of an engagement in the glutes. The arm is stretched out. And here we go. We're going to lean forward to a point where you can feel almost horizontal to the floor. Set your gaze out in front of you and breathe. 3, 2, 1. Come up to standing and release. Awareness in these more difficult postures. If you just come into awareness, it's going to help you to get stronger. Because when you become just aware of what you're doing, you'll be able to hold longer. If you get into your story of, oh, it's too hard. Oh my gosh, I'm going to fall out of it. Oh my gosh, I'm trembling. Getting into that story is going to convince the subconscious to come out of the posture, to get back into comfort. Just becoming aware gets you out of your comfort zone. Other side. Grab a hold of the ankle. Raise the arm in front of you. Now we're going to raise the leg. Avoid pushing too much into the hand with the ankle. Just raise the leg behind you to get the engagement of the glute. The standing leg has the knee slightly bent. That's going to create more power. Now let's fold forward. See if you can almost get to horizontal. Lift your chin, lift your eyes. This is great stuff, everyone. Hold it here. 3, 2, getting stronger. 1, come up to standing and release. Nice. Hands to your hips. Bend your right knee. Bring the right knee out to the side. Let's take our tree pose. Ankle, a little bit higher than the kneecap with the heel or the inner thigh. Raise your arms in a V position. Lift your chest. And maybe just now, you might be able to think of a moment in your life where you could use a little bit more awareness to become stronger, become a little bit more mindful. Hands to your hips and lower your foot. Let's change sides. Left knee bends out to the side. You're at the ankle, a little higher than the kneecap or inner thigh. Raise the arms in that V position. Good job. Deep breaths. Beautiful, really good. Hands to your hips and lower the foot. Yes. Come back to the front edge of your mat. Hands to your heart center. And let's move into our plank position. So to get there, let's take a deep breath in and rise. We'll breathe out and bring the elbows to the knees. Hands come down and step back to a plank position. If you find it's too difficult in plank, you could lower your knees down, take a half plank. You could also lower your elbows. You could also come to what's called the hover position on the elbows with the knees up. Find a good position for you. This is like the numero uno to work our core muscles. Keep the low back curved, lengthen the belly, lift your chin, and we hold. Another 5, 4, 3, 2, hang in there. 1, lower your knees, lower your chest. And let's release. Hands under the forehead, move your hips from side to side. This helps to release the low back and any tension in the low back. Good job, everybody. All right. Lift your head, chest, and shoulders. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Draw your throat long. And lift just a tiny, tiny bit the chest, a tiny bit. Raise your right leg and hold. You can have more pressure on the right hand, that's fine. Lift your chin, lift the leg, holding. 3. Deep breaths, come into awareness. If it's too much, back off. Bring the leg back down, and we change sides. Lift your chest a little bit and lift the left leg and hold. Long through the belly, opening the shoulders, and lower the leg. Good. Now stretch your arms by your sides, pinky fingers pointing up, thumbs pointing down. Raise your head, chest, and arms, and both legs. Excellent engagement into the spine and the back, all those spinal muscles that need that work. Hold and breathe. Come on back down. Hands under the shoulders, push up onto the hands and knees. Bring your knees to the right-hand side of your mat. Sink down onto your left hip, left arm under the head. Keep the lower leg bent. Straighten your upper leg, turn the toes down, and lift the leg as high as possible. This is Vishnu position. With the heel turned up, you're going to feel there's engagement in the side glute, and you want that. You want that for the health of your back and the hips. All right, now keeping the leg as high as possible, I want you to do little pulses. Bring your right hand onto the thigh and pulse up, and you can give a resistance. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, that's good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Bring the leg down. Roll back onto your tummy, everyone. This time, bend your knees, set your fingertips at your heels. So we don't want to grab our ankles, because pushing into the hands, it will raise the chest, but it also puts the hips out of their proper position. So you want to have the fingertips down onto the heels. Lift your heels, lift your chest. It's a much harder position, but it's working functionally. Much better for your hips and your back. Open the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades. 3, 2, and 1. Come on back down. Stretch your legs and stretch your right arm out in front of you and roll to your left-hand side. Knees bent. Stretch your top leg. So this should be your left leg. You should have changed sides. Toes down, heel up. You can bring the arm onto the thigh to give some resistance. Lift the leg as high as possible. And we'll do 10 presses, little pulses. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the leg back down. Roll back onto your belly. Hands under the shoulders. Lengthen your legs. A very last cobra. Open up the chest. Draw the shoulders wide. Draw your throat and ears back. Holding 3. Get long, long, long in the belly. 2 and 1. Bring your chest down. Push up onto your hands and knees. Bring your knees to one side. Come to the seated position with feet out in front of you. Good. Grab behind your thighs and let's roll down onto the back. Okay, 3 different bridge poses. First one, hamstring bridge. Walk your feet away from your hips. Heels down, knees are slightly bent. Arms on the floor, lift your hips. Once your hips are up, you should feel a really nice engagement into the hamstrings. To go farther, pull the heels towards the hips. Holding here, open the chest, lengthen your throat. Take deep breaths, come into awareness. Again, always aware. And bring the hips down. Walk your feet in. So the awareness practice is difficult because we're challenging ourselves to be constantly aware of what's going on in the body. But what's nice about this is that it will come back to you naturally throughout your day. Every once in a while, you'll go back to awareness and mindfulness, which can really bring you a lot of strength and power in your life. Arms are down. We're going to bring our soles of our feet together, knees wide. This is frog bridge. Lift the hips up. Now in frog bridge, we're also working the perineum. So I want you to feel as if you're contracting the perineum, the muscles towards each other and lifting up into the belly, okay? This is very important for women's health and men's health, to keep things lifting up into the belly and not pressing downwards. So squeeze your glutes, lift up, and we're going to pulse here, lifting the hips up higher. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the hips back down. Lift your knees, separate your feet. Now comes our classic bridge. Elbows into the floor. Open the chest. Lift your hips up. Lengthen your neck and hold here. Take deep, slow breaths. Feel the natural curvature of your low back, as well as the engagement in the quads and the glutes, and completely come into awareness. If you need to make little shifts to get more comfortable, no problem. Two more deep breaths. Good. Now raise your arms up over your head, reaching behind you. And let's lower the back one vertebra at a time. Very, very slowly. Once the back is all the way down onto the floor, stretch your legs out one at a time onto your mat. And let your body stretch from fingers to toes. Then let's bring both legs to the right-hand side of the mat. So bring your toes and your legs together. Bring the palms of your hands together and bring your arms to the right-hand side as well. I like to call this the banana because you're making like a banana shape with your body. So your arms and your hands go to the right and both feet and legs straight go to the right. And you get a big curve and stretch down the left-hand side. Yeah. Back to the center, separate your feet, separate your arms, stretch and lengthen fingers to toes. And then both feet to the left this time. Bring the feet together, legs together, palms together, bring your arms to the left and get into that banana shape. Once again, stretching out the right-hand side. And then coming back to center, gently lift one knee at a time, grab a hold of the knees and pull them into the chest. Getting that stretch of the low back should feel really good. Rock a bit from side to side. Good. Now lifting the feet, grab either the outsides of the ankles or the bottoms of your feet and pull the knees as wide as the shoulders, getting into a kind of happy baby pose. And this helps to stretch out the backs of the thighs as well. Rock again if you wish, or just open the knees, pulling them towards the outsides of the shoulders. Bring your knees back together. Squeeze them against your chest. You can wrap your arms completely around your knees. Lift your head. Bring your nose in between your knees. Round out into a little egg, a little ball. And then lower the head to the earth. Keep your knees together. Open your arms to the sides and let your knees fall to the right. Turn your head to the left and hold here. One knee at a time, lift back up and change sides. Knees to the left, head to the right, and hold here. Good. One knee at a time, lifting back up Stretch one leg at a time back out onto the floor. Stretch your arms once again over your head. Point your toes, reach fingers to toes. And then relax your arms down by your sides, palms facing the sky. See if you can reach your fingers down to touch your heels. Reach down. It's going to lower the shoulders away from the ears. And then completely relax, letting go of the feet, legs, hands, and arms. Relax the chest. Relax the jaw. Remember that massage that we did at the beginning of class to let go of the jaw. See if you can get that sensation once again. The complete letting go. And to continue on in our exercise, our challenge of awareness, I'm going to mention different parts of the body. Just bring your awareness to those different parts. See if you can soften. Begin with the right foot, the right ankle, the right knee, right thigh, right hip, center of the abdomen. Now the left foot, left ankle, left knee, left hip, left thigh, center of the abdomen. The low back, middle of the back, and the upper back, center of the chest. The pubic bone region, the lower abdomen, center of the abdomen, and center of the chest. Bring your awareness to your right hand, right wrist, right elbow, right shoulder, center of the chest. Your left hand, left wrist, left elbow, left shoulder, center of the chest. Your throat, your neck, jaw, right cheek, left cheek, the mouth and the tongue, the nose, right eye, left eye, the forehead, right ear, left ear, the back of the head, the crown of the head, And now the center of your eyebrows. Allow your mind to wander now and to relax for 1 minute. Bringing your awareness back to your breath. Begin moving your fingers and your toes. Good. Raise your arms over your head and get a final stretch. And then bring your knees up against your chest. You can rock again from side to side. Roll all the way onto your right hand side. Right arm underneath the head. Blink your eyes a few times. And when you're ready, push against the floor to come up to a seated position. Nice. And let's rub our hands together. Let's bring the hands over the face, stimulating all the muscles in the face. Tap around your eyes. Shake your hands out. And let's do that one more time. Rub the hands together. Bringing them over the face. Tapping around the eyes. Shake out. Hands at your heart center, everyone. Have a lovely day. Thanks for coming and practicing with me. Namaste. Bravo, everybody.